Rome, a city of marble and myth, a city of power and glory, but beneath the surface a darkness stirred. Cracks snaked across the facades of grand villas. Weathered statues, silent sentinels of a bygone era, stood witness to the city's slow decline. The Forum, once a vibrant heart of political life, now echoed with the whispers of conspiracy. The Senate, once a bastion of wisdom, had become a stage for petty rivalries and insatiable greed. The very soul of Rome seemed to be rotting from within. The stench of decay mingled with the aroma of roasted meats from lavish banquets, a constant reminder of the growing chasm between the haves and the have-nots. The Roman Republic, once a beacon of hope, was teetering on the precipice of collapse. In the opulent villas on the Palatine Hill, the Roman elite dined on exotic delicacies. Their tables groaned under the weight of silver platters piled high with food. Wine flowed freely, fueling their laughter and their indifference to the plight of their fellow citizens. Meanwhile, in the squalid slums across the Tiber, hunger gnawed at empty stomachs. Families huddled together in cramped, rat-infested hovels. For them, each day was a struggle for survival, their lives a stark contrast to the extravagance of the ruling class. The gap between rich and poor had become a chasm, a breeding ground for resentment and unrest. The common people, their voices drowned out by the clatter of silver and the empty promises of corrupt officials, yearned for a champion, a leader who would fight for them. Among the chaos, figures of ambition and power emerged. Julius Caesar, a man of piercing intellect and boundless ambition, navigated the treacherous currents of Roman politics with cunning and charisma. His victories in Gaul had made him a hero to the people, a dangerous reputation in the eyes of the Senate. Gnaeus Pompeius Magnus, known as Pompey the Great, stood as a bulwark of the old order. A respected general and a staunch defender of the Senate's authority, he viewed Caesar's growing popularity with suspicion and distrust. Their rivalry, a clash of ambition and ideology, would become a microcosm of the larger struggle that was tearing the Republic apart. The fate of Rome, once seemingly eternal, now hung precariously in the balance. Section 4. Cracks in the foundation, a republic divided. The Roman Republic, once a model of governance, was crumbling under the weight of its own contradictions. Corruption was rife, eroding the trust that had bound the citizenry together. The Senate, once a symbol of republican virtue, had become a den of self-serving elites. The legions, once the proud defenders of Rome, were increasingly loyal to their generals, not to the state. Ambitious men like Caesar and Pompey used their armies as bargaining chips, their personal power eclipsing the authority of the Senate. The fabric of Roman society was fraying, torn apart by political infighting, economic inequality, and the relentless grind of foreign wars. The Republic, weakened from within, was easy prey for ambitious men who sought to exploit the chaos for their own gain. Section 5. Caesar, the rise of a general. From the battlefields of Gaul, a new kind of leader emerged. Julius Caesar, a man of unparalleled ambition and tactical genius, began to carve his name into the annals of history. His campaigns were not just about expanding Rome's territories, but also about showcasing his military prowess and strategic brilliance. Julius Caesar, a brilliant strategist and a charismatic leader, captivated the imagination of the Roman people with his tales of conquest and glory. His speeches were legendary, filled with passion and conviction, inspiring his troops and citizens alike. He understood the power of spectacle, the importance of appealing directly to the masses. Caesar's public appearances were meticulously planned, each one designed to reinforce his image as a leader of the people, a man who could bring prosperity and stability to Rome. His legions, hardened by years of warfare, were fiercely loyal to their commander. They had fought alongside him in countless battles, witnessing his bravery and strategic acumen firsthand. This bond between Caesar and his soldiers was unbreakable, forged in the crucible of war. They had witnessed his courage firsthand, his willingness to share their hardships. Caesar was not a distant commander. He was one of them, enduring the same trials and tribulations, earning their respect and unwavering loyalty. Caesar's victories brought wealth and glory to Rome, but they also fueled his ambition, setting him on a collision course with the Roman establishment. His triumphs were celebrated with grand parades and public feasts, further solidifying his status as a hero of the people. His enemies whispered of tyranny, of a man who placed himself above the law. The Senate, wary of his growing power, began to see him as a threat to the Republic, a potential dictator who could dismantle the very foundations of Roman governance. But for the common people, Caesar represented hope, a chance for a better future. His reforms aimed at alleviating poverty and providing land to veterans won in the adoration of the masses, who saw in him a champion of their cause. His growing popularity, however, was a double-edged sword, arousing both admiration and fear in equal measure. As Caesar's influence expanded, so did the tensions within Rome, setting the stage for a dramatic and tumultuous chapter in the history of the Roman Republic. Section 6. The Gallic Crucible, Fire and Blood. The Gallic Wars tested the mettle of Rome's legions. These wars were not just a series of battles, but a prolonged and grueling campaign that pushed the Roman soldiers to their limits. From the frozen Alps to the sun-drenched plains of Gaul, the Roman legions faced diverse and challenging terrains. Each step forward was a testament to their endurance and discipline. Caesar's armies clashed with fierce tribes, their swords stained with the blood of their enemies. The battles were brutal, with neither side willing to give an inch. Each victory further solidified Caesar's reputation as a brilliant commander, a tactician who could outmaneuver and outfight any opponent. His strategies became legendary, studied by future generations. A leader worthy of Rome's respect and fear, Caesar inspired loyalty and fear in equal measure. His presence on the battlefield was a rallying point for his troops. Vercingetorix, a chieftain of unmatched courage and cunning, emerged as a formidable adversary. His leadership united the fragmented Gallic tribes into a cohesive force. United against the Roman invaders, the Gallic tribes fought with a ferocity born of desperation and a deep love for their homeland. Vercingetorix's charisma and tactical acumen were pivotal in their resistance. His defiance, though ultimately crushed at the epic siege of Alesia, became a symbol of resistance. The siege itself was a masterclass in military strategy, with both sides displaying incredible tenacity. The aftermath of these battles served as a stark reminder of the human cost of Rome's relentless expansion. The fields were littered with the fallen, a somber testament to the price of ambition. The Gallic Wars, a brutal chapter in Roman history, showcased the might of the Roman war machine. The legions were a well-oiled apparatus of conquest, relentless and efficient. The wars also highlighted the advanced military technology and tactics employed by the Romans. From siege engines to disciplined formations, every aspect was designed for maximum effectiveness. And yet the resilience of those who dared to resist it was equally remarkable. The Gallic warriors, though outmatched in many ways, fought with a spirit that could not be easily extinguished. These wars also served as a crucible for Caesar's ambition, forging him into the most formidable leader of his age. His experiences in Gaul honed his skills and solidified his legacy. Triumphant and celebrated by his troops, Caesar's journey through the Gallic Wars was a defining chapter in his rise to power. It was a testament to his strategic genius and unyielding determination. Section 7. The Rubicon Crossed. A republic divided, the die was cast. With the words "Alea iacta est," the die is cast, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River, a symbolic act of defiance against the Roman Senate. This moment was not just a physical crossing, but a point of no return, a bold declaration that Caesar was willing to risk everything for his ambitions. The Rubicon, a shallow river in northern Italy, became the stage for one of history's most pivotal moments. This single act plunged the Republic into a civil war, a conflict that would determine the fate of Rome and its people. The once united Republic was now torn apart, with families and friends finding themselves on opposing sides. The streets of Rome, once bustling with commerce and daily life, now echoed with the sounds of marching soldiers and clashing swords. The Senate, fearing Caesar's growing power and influence, had declared him an enemy of the state. They saw in him a threat to the Republic's very foundations, a man whose ambition could topple centuries of tradition and governance. The senators, once confident in their authority, now found themselves scrambling to preserve their power. They rallied behind Pompey, their champion, their last hope of preserving the old order. Pompey, a seasoned military leader, was seen as the Republic's bulwark against Caesar's rising tide. His legions, loyal and battle-hardened, prepared for the inevitable clash. What began as a clash of personalities had escalated into a full-blown war, brother against brother. The Civil War was not just a battle for power, but a struggle for the soul of Rome. It was a war that would see alliances forged and broken, heroes rise and fall, and the very landscape of the Republic forever altered. The Rubicon, once an insignificant river marking the boundary of Roman Italy, became a symbol of no return, a stark reminder that even the most powerful empires are not immune to the corrosive forces of ambition and division. It stood as a testament to the fragility of political structures and the ever-present potential for upheaval. The crossing of the Rubicon was more than a military maneuver. It was a moment that encapsulated the volatile nature of power and the relentless drive of human ambition.